Incredible day, family. Welcome to the Your Perspective Matters podcast. I am your host, Ronald Wynn. Happy New Year 2026. We live. I'm I'm excited because this is my first. It's probably not others, but it's definitely my first episode of the year. And I want to start off with reminding us, I think this is a reminder episode, right? Maybe I could subtitle it Reminder. Because I think moving into this year, I believe that there's some people that have a slow start already. I am one. But just because you have a slow start doesn't mean that you're going to have a slow year, right? There is ample amount of time to be able to gain momentum and to be able to do the things that you need to do. So, without further ado, this is not going to be a long winded episode, but this is going to be something straight to the point because I believe without something like this, you're not going to have your fire starter, right? As my pastor likes to call it, right? Be a fire starter. And I this was close to my heart because this was actually an episode that I should have done a long time ago. But just because I think that I should have done it doesn't mean that it should have been done before. This is the perfect time for this, right? So, without further ado, I want to get into some information. I want to start off with a quote that I have, and it says, "A part of losing momentum is that there's not enough movement in the small moments." I'm gonna read that again because it was good. A part of losing momentum is that there's not enough movement in the small moments. I actually should have added small movements, but the moral of this story is I believe that many of us are motivated to be into this new year. Some people like New Year, New Me. I truly believe against it. I really believe it's New Year, Better Me. I think that's something that we should focus on. But one of the things that I realized as an entrepreneur is your new year don't start January 1st. Your new year actually starts the last quarter of the previous year. So the last 3 months would be the momentum that you need to push yourself to be able to excel or to ride a wave directly into 2026. And I mean, this could just be a episode for myself, right? But type in the chat if this is for you. I believe for myself specifically that I didn't, I thought I didn't have enough momentum going into this new year. So when January 1st hit, I'm like, man, it's just another year. It's another. I want to conquer it. I want to do my best, but the issue is just I just don't feel like I've done enough in the last quarter of the year. And what happens is that what you do in those last 3 months of the year, it literally shapes your mindset, right? You can be able to envision 3 months ahead. You can maybe even 6 months ahead, maybe even the whole year. You're able to get some planning in. You're able to focus on some personal development, right? You're able to get your body in shape. And all of these things tie into being able to push yourself into a groove that I think most people want to have, but I'm here to tell you, not everybody has that, right? Some people's January 1st probably started this week. Some people's January 1st probably started today. So I want to wish you happy first of the year. Happy New Year to you. Reason why is because it's okay if your momentum starts now. It's all right. because we're focusing on leveraging some movement. All I need you to do is to be able to do something, move your body, right? And it doesn't matter how much movement, the purpose is for you to move. Because when you move, there is these moments that are very pivotal. Hear me. There's going to be some people that is going to excel literally this month, starting this month. But there's going to be some people that's going to excel a couple months from now. And it's only going to be because of the moments that they've leveraged right now. Literally, right? So I want to help you with some stuff, right? Here's another note I want you to grab. Be intentional with the small wins. If you want to keep and gain that momentum, if you want to ride that wave into this year, I need you to be intentional with the small wins, right? Because the title of this message, or the title, I'm talking like a pastor. The title of this podcast episode is Celebrating Yourself, right? I need you to celebrate and be intentional with these small wins. So, can we back up, right? Let me give you some not even homework. I want to give you some classwork. I want you to think about this right now, right? What are some things that you've done last year, 2025? What are some things that I've accomplished? Now let's look at the last 3 months. Let's look at the last 6 months. What have I conquered or accomplished in those months? I want you to write a list. Make a list of about 10 things, right? And I'm pretty sure you can get 10. But if you can't get 10, the minimum I need you to write is 5. And when you look at those, right after you write that list, I want you to just read it to yourself. I accomplished exercising for a couple of days. I got my first client. I gained more clients. I moved out. I moved back in. Whatever it is, there is a win that I need you to focus on. Because what happens is we end up comparing our previous year with other people's years. So then we move into this year thinking that we have to do more, thinking that we have to go above and beyond and do all the extra. But all that is just competing with somebody else. I don't need you to focus on that, right? My focus is for you to move. And in order for us to get you to move so that way you can take advantage of these small moments, is be intentional with small wins. Know that you have wins because those wins add up, right? If you're playing any kind of sport, understand that no matter how much you've won by, it counts as a W. And the more small wins you get, the better it is. Now, if I was to let's just say we're looking at basketball and I was the only out of the whole season, I was to only get 20 wins, right? That's very little. But if I accumulate all of these wins, let's just say 60 wins out of the whole season, that's great. I have to acknowledge even if all of them was winning by 1, 2, 3, 4 points, I don't need to blow out my opponent. Although there's going to be some times you're going to blow it out the water. And that's okay. When those moments happen, we're going to celebrate that too. But the focus is celebrating small wins. The other thing I want you to be intentional with is making yourself aware that you are further than yesterday. Now, we dwell so much on right now and the future that we forget that there's actually momentum in your past. Because when you look back over all the things that you've done and accomplished within 2025, like I told you just look at the wins from the last 3 to 6 months. But if you look at the whole entire year, starting from January to December, you're going to have way more than 10 things on that list. And that's something that you can hold on to push you into where you're going, to guide you, to coast you into this new year. Like, I need you to celebrate the fact that you've conquered your past. What's the title of this episode? Celebrate yourself. And that's what we're focusing on, right? The next thing is there is a quote that I absolutely live by, right? It is something that I believe is very pivotal. It is something that I've learned in my network marketing days. I was heavy into personal development and I'm just studying. I'm a student to the game, student to growth. And I heard this small quote and it goes by, go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. Oh, wait. Yo, that right there got to be somebody's new mantra, right? Go where you are celebrated and not where you are tolerated. Now, I'm pretty sure that we've had moments last year where we have done the opposite. We've literally gone where we were tolerated and not where we're celebrated. If we become more aware of our surroundings and we understand what celebration looks like, that's the reason why I want you to celebrate yourself. Because when you learn how to celebrate yourself, when you're intentional with the small wins, when you realize you've conquered the past, now you get to exercise an understanding that I'm going to go into an environment where not only I am doing this for myself, but other people is doing this for me as well. Am I saying to just go around and look for people to praise you? Absolutely not. This is not a selfish manner. This is a self-first manner. This is something that you need to make sure you prioritize yourself by getting into great rooms, getting into the positive rooms, and intentionally developing your environment, right? And I want to ask you that question is, how many times have you done the opposite? How many times have you gone somewhere or been in a crowd or been amongst people or friends, comrades, whoever, workers, co-workers, whoever, and you've just settled with being tolerated? Like, you probably thought that it was just enough. You probably thought, it's okay. I'm gonna be cool here. You know, I'm striving for the best, so I gotta settle for them tolerating my boldness. I I gotta settle for them tolerating my perspective. But the issue that I need you to understand with that is those people that tolerate you are not able to receive your value. Like, I'm a person of communication. I refuse to continuously talk to a brick wall. The moment I know you're not receiving me, it's over. Conversation done. I'm moving on, right? I don't want to talk to the brick wall. I don't need you to give your value to people that is not going to or even is willing to receive it. You are far more valuable than you think. So this year, as we are celebrating ourselves, realizing the value that's within us, guess what? That eventually pours out into attracting the right people. It's important. Like, we think that it's just easy just to go out and look for some people, but I promise you there's going to be some people that's listening to this episode that the reason why you have the environment that you have is not because you intentionally separated yourself from nonsense and people that are not giving to you, right? It's not only that, it's the fact that you made sure that you had to do what you had to do. Like, mm, mm. Go where you are celebrated, not where you're tolerated, right? So there, that has to do with getting into positive environments. Like, let's be intentional with this, right? Why are they doing this right now? My goodness, sorry about that. But see, it's if I didn't set the tone for myself, that would really throw me off course. But I need you to understand to celebrate yourself, because even in this moment, I'm celebrating myself because I felt like I was supposed to do this episode long time ago, or even January 1st. And guess what? It's coming out later. And I'm okay with that because I could have not done any episode at all, which would have stopped me, which would have stopped my momentum, which I would have never been able to gain movement to be able to be cool, be calm and collective, and enjoy my moments. This is your moment to keep going. This is your moment to celebrate yourself. This is your moment to conquer 2026, right? So, with these positive environments, mm, with these positive environments, you want to be intentional. And how you do that, how you go about it is creating them with three things, right? Pay attention to this. I want you to write this. How do I create positive momentum? I mean, positive environment, right? With these three things, number one is the things that you see. You have to be able to be in areas, right? Like you get celebrated or not celebrated. You get positive reinforcement or positive influence by going into looking at healthy relationships, because some of us want love, right? Some of us want to be loved. Some of us want to be married. Cool. If you continue to look at unhealthy relationships, that's what you're going to continuously consume. If you continuously look at people that are poor or unwealthy or lazy, that's exactly what you're accepting into your life. If you focus on getting in the right crowds and seeing, oh, these people or this person has actually won with my situation, I now believe and I'm accepting I can conquer my situation. So, number one is the things that you see. Number two is the things that you hear. Who and what are you listening to? Like, that's very, even down to music. The music that you listen to and the people that you listen to as well. Are they feeding you or are they draining? Are they pouring into you or are they pouring it out? Like, mm, hmm. You have no idea what words and how powerful they are. Like, I'm literally writing my second book, and it has to deal with seeing yourself differently, right? Seeing the how the words that shaped your life in a negative way, how we can change your perspective for you to see it in a positive way, right? You dictate whether or not words or specific words or phrases are power or has power over you, right? That is very, very important. So I'm intentional with that. Like, I'm not going to give it the power, right? If somebody calls me powerful, that's what I'm rocking with. If somebody calls me handsome, I'm rocking with it. If somebody calls me smart, intelligent, caring, I'm rocking with it. But if somebody says that I am a bad person, if somebody says that I am a terrible person, if somebody says that I'm not strong enough, I'm weak, all of the different things, guess what? I don't give that power. I don't. You have to be intentional with that, right? So, number one is the things that you see. Number two is the things that you hear. Number three is the people you are around. Be mindful of the company you keep. Like, I think one of the words for 2025 that I had to reinforce and state often is having a village. Village was so important and so critical that like we take it for granted, right? And I state in my book that people vi- no, community is for everybody, village is for you. Community is for everybody. It's okay to have community, but the village that you create is for you. Because your village definitely can come from the community that you're in or communities. Right? There is going to be people that is going to just specifically designed to cater and pour into you, and that's what you want. You want people that's going to be by your side, building you up, pushing you, making you uncomfortable, not a yes man. Absolutely not, because that is not helpful to your growth. You need to be told what's up. Like you need to there needs to be moments where you get irritated because your village is getting on your nerves because they're basically forcing you to grow. Like that's some of us we just gotta learn the hard way. We literally gotta learn the hard way. We're just so stubborn that we're like, I don't want to listen to you. But when it starts to penetrate your heart, oh yeah, it's gonna irritate, and that's also what causes movement, which helps you to gain momentum. Right? Is when you are irritated about something. That's that's personal development within itself. Personal development 101, right? Um, but I realized because I've been one of those people, right, where I want to have a positive environment. My environment probably sucked during the time. There was nobody that was able to help me. So I was unfortunate in the moment to have positive environments. If this is you, say ouch, right? You probably are living at home with some people, maybe even it's your family that's not positive. Maybe it's your spouse that's not positive. Maybe your kids is not making it a positive environment. Maybe it's your job that's not giving you a positive environment, right? All of these things, or those people rather, are draining from you. So I need you to be intentional with celebrating yourself. This is why it's important to do this, right? Because in the midst of it, you want to be able to create the environments that's going to be conducive to your growth. These good environments, as you are intentional with getting in them or creating them, it literally builds the foundation for your future. This is what you want to stand and build on, right? So, what does celebrating yourself look like? Right? I got a few examples. It's a whole bunch, but I'm not going to talk your head off, right? Here's just a few, right? Number one way that you can celebrate yourself is affirmation, right? There has to be some speaking involved with this. There has to be some acknowledgement in a good way. Remember, I told you words and phrases have power. You get to choose which words and phrases have power and which ones don't. So we want to be affirmed. Number one, you want to have yourself do that, right? You want to be intentional with affirming yourself. If you feel like you don't have it in you, then you get around your positive environment or you get around some people, right? Being intentional with what you see and being intentional with what you hear, and you can be able to stir the pot with being affirmed. Borrow somebody else's affirmations. If somebody else's, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a millionaire. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am wealthy. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have peace. Um, I have an abundance of resources. Like, borrow somebody else's affirmations, and I need you to recite them on a daily. And sometimes you might need to recite them multiple times in a day. We all different. We all need different amounts. And this might just be for you. You might just have to recite it. But that's one way that you're able to celebrate yourself, is acknowledging who you are, saying it out loud. I'm great. I am powerful. Why do you think I start this podcast with incredible day? Why do you think, if you've ever had a conversation with me, I say I am amazing, I am phenomenal, I am incredible. I am affirming myself. Like, regardless of what is going on, I've been homeless in 2 different states. I've been kicked out in the third state in 2 different places in 2 weeks. I've been laid off before during COVID, and I was an essential worker and got laid off. Not so essential, right? I have to stick to affirming myself. That's how I was able to celebrate, and that's how I was able to gain momentum. Literally, when I got laid off of my job during COVID, 3 weeks later I became an author. Momentum. It's not by coincidence. Trust me, it's a little more to the story, because I actually manifested that to happen. And I actually was doing some things prior to build up to having all the things I needed to be an author. But and the funny thing about it was, during that time, or even prior to me getting fired, I had multiple people saw what I didn't see in me. They saw me as an author before I saw myself as an author. That is crazy. It was wild. And that's literally how a big reason why I started to be intentional with that, because somebody else saw it, right? Affirming yourself, right? You need to be able to speak to yourself and speak about yourself. Number two, how do you celebrate what does celebrating yourself look like? Eating something delicious. This is probably my favorite one, right? How many of us are big backs? I'm like, I need to put 2 hands up, because I'm certified big back. I lead the community, right? I'll send you the link for you to join the big back community if you ain't a part. But eating something delicious is actually critical. Why? Is because you now state to yourself, I can eat whatever I want, or I can eat like this. This is an opportunity that I can actually experience. So you're celebrating yourself by giving yourself an intentional, beautiful experience. What better way to eat something amazing? Oh my goodness, get some lobster, some, like, today, one of my coworkers made some, well, not made, but they had the hookup of getting some at another vendor, some Caribbean food. Fire. I was excited because I needed some Caribbean food for sure, right? But eating something delicious, it's being intentional with picking what you want to consume, right? That is critical. Number three, activities that make you sweat. Now, there are, you don't have to necessarily work out, right? That is a big part of it. But essentially, you want to move your body. Body. You want to move your body. Very important. You want to move it to the point where you give yourself a little sweat because I promise you, there is an energy with movement. If you stay stagnant or just continue to move slow, that becomes your energy. But you get on the treadmill, you go to the gym and lift some weights, you do cardio there, you go on a walk. That can probably be a slow thing that you can do, right? And feed yourself motivational quotes or affirmations or all the things in your ear, right? While you're listening to music or whatnot. That can be something while you're walking, but that should probably be the slowest thing that you do when it comes to activity. Play a sport, right? Something that's going to get you to move because your body is going to agree with it. Your body needs the energy. Good movement makes you feel good. And when you feel good, you get to do good. Very important. Like, I am more intentional. I mean, I move a lot, especially at work. I do over 12,000, 15,000 steps in a day on a daily basis. So, and the thing is, I have a choice to be lazy. I have a choice to just chill. I have a choice not to get that many steps in, but I refuse to. Like, I refuse to be sitting at a desk all day long. Do I have a desk? Yep. Do I have an office? Yep. Do I sit at my desk? Yep. But how long am I sitting there? Not long, because I am active. And there is a beauty, right? There is a beauty in being able to move even outside of where you're at, because now you get to, like, for me, I'm able to be exposed to seeing the beauty of my environment in its fullest. Like, I work at a convention center, so I get to see all the things. I get to see people help others. I get to see what people have built for the show. I get to see different performances. Excuse me. I get to see all these different things, and I get to also meet people, right? That is very important. But nonetheless, um, gain leverage the activity that makes you sweat, right? Good movement makes you feel good. And lastly, I think this is probably going to be somebody's favorite: being in silence. Like, solitude is important when it comes to celebrating yourself, right? I think we have too many loud moments, or we think that we gotta be loud. We think that it gots to be all this chatter and all the communication. Sometimes communication, or the best communication, is silence, right? Sometimes silence speaks louder than what you were going to say or what you've wanted to say. So if you don't do anything in this week, I need you to make sure that you celebrate yourself. And you go about that by affirming yourself, eating something good, making yourself sweat intentionally, and being in silence. It's okay to be by yourself. Some of us are by ourselves a little too much, but that's another topic for another time. I just need you to be okay in this moment, because My focus is for you to grow. My focus is for you to gain the momentum that you didn't have in 2025. That last quarter that you felt, hey, I didn't do what I needed to do, it's okay. Allow today to be day one. Allow today to be January 1st for you, the start of the new year, 2026. What is your word? What is your mantra? What is your theme, the theme for your year? I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being able to listen to this episode. I believe that there's definitely some transformed minds, some changed minds. Definitely do that assignment that I told you to do in the middle of the episode. But family, I appreciate you for your time. I'll see you on the next one because your perspective matters. Let's get